A man wakes up at 5 a.m. every day, same alarm, same routine, same discipline everyone says is supposed to make him happy. He makes his coffee, checks his phone, stares at the screen like it's going to hand him a reason to feel okay. And then it hits him. That familiar tightness in his chest. Not pain, not panic, just pressure. Like his own life is sitting on him. He's 47 years old, and he can't remember the last time he felt truly alive. Not busy, not productive, not holding it together. Alive. And before you tell yourself this is just his problem, listen carefully. Somewhere right now, a woman is standing in front of a mirror, staring into her own eyes, thinking, "When did I become someone I don't recognize?" Somewhere a young man is lying in bed, already exhausted, already weighed down by a day that hasn't even started. Somewhere an older person is counting years, not birthdays. Counting years traded for safety. Years spent waiting for the right moment that never arrived. This isn't a story. It's a pattern. And if it feels familiar, it's not because you're broken. It's because you were trained. You were taught how to succeed, how to be responsible, how to be respectable. No one taught you how to stay alive inside your own life. Most people don't live. They endure. They survive. They postpone. They treat their real life like a waiting room. And the ancient Stoics saw this over 2,000 years ago, long before screens, notifications, and busy became an identity. They understood something modern culture avoids at all costs. Life doesn't become meaningful because you wish it does. It becomes meaningful when you meet it with clarity, courage, and presence. Marcus Aurelius had everything people chase: power, wealth, status, an empire. He could have drifted through comfort, surrounded by servants, pretending he was untouchable. Instead, he wrote private reminders to himself, not for praise, not for attention, not for followers, for survival. He wrote, "When you wake up, expect people to be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." That's not optimism. That's truth. That's a man saying, "I won't collapse when life isn't gentle." And that's the difference. Most modern motivation is built on comfort. Stoicism is built on reality, because here's what no one tells you about most affirmations. A lot of them are sweet lies. I am confident. I am successful. Everything happens for a reason. They feel good for 5 minutes. Then life shows up and crushes them. The Stoics didn't use comfort lies. They used uncomfortable truth as fuel. Epictetus was born into slavery. No soundtrack, no manifestation rituals, no choose your vibe. He was property. And in that darkness, he discovered something powerful. They might control my body, but they don't own my mind unless I hand it over. That's why he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Not because it sounds inspiring, because it's a weapon. He didn't wait for circumstances to improve before becoming free. He refused to surrender his inner life. That's what this is about. Not fixing everything overnight. Not pretending life is perfect. Building a mind that can't be owned. Building a life that's actually yours. Because a lot of people are walking around with decent jobs, full calendars, responsibilities, achievements, and still feel empty. Not because they're failing. Because they're living a life that looks correct on the outside, but doesn't fit on the inside. So ask yourself this honestly. When did your life stop being yours? When did your mornings turn into checklists? When did your days become, get through it? When did your mind turn into a courtroom where you're always on trial? If you're still breathing, this isn't the end. It's the wake-up. And waking up doesn't start with a miracle. It starts with a decision. A decision to stop sleepwalking through hours you will never get back. Seneca wrote that life isn't short. We just waste a lot of it, not dramatically, subtly. I'll do it later. Once things calm down. When I feel ready. When I'm more secure. And that when never arrives. Here's the truth that changes everything. Your life is not practice. This morning, this ordinary day, this imperfect moment, this is your real life. And if you don't claim it, it will be spent for you. You're not exhausted because you're weak. You're exhausted because your attention is scattered. Your body is in the room, but your mind is everywhere else. Eating without tasting, talking without connecting, working without meaning, resting without rest. That's how emptiness forms. Because emptiness is what happens when you observe your life instead of inhabiting it. The Stoic move is simple, not easy. Come back. To your body, to your breath, to the room you're actually in. Not as a trend, as survival. Another layer of the emptiness appears when self-improvement turns into self-erasure. Always optimizing, always fixing, always becoming. It sounds responsible, but it quietly says, I'm not enough yet. And if you live like that, you're always the before picture. Never allowed to arrive. Never allowed to be human. Stoicism doesn't teach you to hate yourself into greatness. It teaches you to respect yourself into discipline. Growth builds you. War drains you. Ask yourself this: am I doing this because it makes me more alive? Or because I'm trying to earn permission to exist without guilt? That question alone will lift weight off your chest. Another source of emptiness hides in relationships. Connection without exposure. Closeness without being known. You share updates, not truth. Strength, not struggle. And what stays hidden can't be held. Stoicism isn't isolation. It's the courage to be honest with the right people. Say one real thing this week. No packaging, no lesson, no performance, just truth. The right people won't run. They'll exhale, because they've been waiting too. The ache deepens when life stays in rehearsal mode. Always preparing, always planning, always almost. Ready as a mirage. It moves every time you move. Courage isn't confidence. It's action before certainty. Speak even if your voice shakes. Move even if fear comes with you. Start imperfectly. And finally, the reason the cycle survives. Every time emptiness shows up, you numb it. Scroll, work, distract. But emptiness isn't a defect, it's data. It's telling you something is misaligned. So instead of silencing it, listen. Ask better questions. What have I outgrown? What am I doing for approval that I don't want anymore? What part of my life isn't true? That's not weakness. That's awakening. And here's the hopeful truth. If you feel empty, something in you is still alive enough to refuse a fake life. You're not broken. You're waking up. So start today, small and real. Taste your coffee. Have one honest conversation. Take one action you've been postponing. Set one boundary. Speak one truth. Your future isn't built in heroic moments. It's built in quiet decisions no one applauds. That's Stoicism, not quotes. Practice, so claim it. I refuse to live half awake. And prove it today, not tomorrow, not soon. Today. Because time is moving whether you participate or not. And the strongest thing you can do is show up fully anyway. Subscribe to Ascend X Awaken. If this resonated, the next video will hit harder.